running this computer. So welcome to our live trading session, June 4th, Thursday, last live session of the week. And Nick is going to get into going over the dollar index like always.
Oh, yeah. Let's get into it. All right. So let me share. We're good.
Share
Okay. Where is this at? Let me actually wait. Where'd it go? Hold on. 1 second.
No problem.
Just trying to find the right screen here.
Find the screen.
Finding it. Looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
There she is. Okay, cool. Zoom. Okay. Oh, it's funny because I did a full, remember that video I just posted on YouTube for that full USD CHF breakdown?
Yeah.
Boom. 36 pips in profit. How you doing? Anyway.
Right,
all right, let's start off on DXY.
Yeah, no, I'm actually considering taking positions on you, Seth, but I'll go over that.
Yeah, definitely. I know that's your pair to cover. I don't want to step on your feet, bro.
Yeah, buddy.
Anyway. All right, so guys, DXY. We always cover this because, again, we just want to keep updated on a day-to-day basis with, whatever the US dollar is doing, because, again, it makes up for 80% of all trade. So it's definitely influencing a lot of the market, especially right now, especially with all these news events getting priced in, all the economic data getting priced in from last month, all these reports coming out. So it's really important to kind of be on top of the US dollar right now, especially. So that's why we kind of get into it, check out the updates, or check it out and update it on a daily basis. So just to get sentiment, let's take a look at this on a daily time frame. Super bullish, as we can see. Disregard this manipulation, this news bull crap. That doesn't really, it's news. So look at the normal market structure. Very bullish, very clear. Higher low after higher low after higher low, higher high, etc. So let's drop to the 4 hours, zone in on price a little bit, and kind of see what's happening. So after this huge push, after this huge reaction from dollar shortage, news event, Corona, all this crap over here, we saw the dollar start to become more stable, which is good. We saw this ranging happening between 101, 98.5, very good. Gave us some good market structure across other currency pairs. But now, again, as things start to price in, the market's pricing in all the impacts of Corona, all the news events that are coming out, everything. Because obviously the economy is not the strongest right now. The global economy, as a matter of fact, as well, is not that strong. So this is merely factoring all that in. Now we're in a very steep bearish channel, bearish trend on this 4 hour time frame. So clearly, you can just see how steep this is. Super bearish. We actually broke out of this range, 98.5, and now we're finding some consolidation around that daily lower half of the lower trend line of that channel, of that giant bullish channel on a daily time frame. So that's where we are right now. Let's go ahead and kind of mark up potential scenarios as to what could happen. So either we have two options, basically. Two ways this could go is either price action is going to continue in this trend, right? Very much continue in this trend. Actually, I want to use the ray. Why that was doing that. I'm sorry. Where's the curve at? There it is. All right, so I want either price action is going to continue lower, like so, towards our next, major support level. If negative news keeps coming out, if nothing really changes, if we don't see any positive U.S. news coming out, this is probably just going to keep trending downward towards our monthly. However, if we do find that this is a strong support area and it is a confirmed, higher low as we saw on the daily, so we can see here, right? If this is a confirmed higher low around this trend line, we could see a bounce. And then where do we start looking at potential long positions, right? So we want to see, again, a strong break up past these lower time frame, these 4 hour lower highs. We want to see this level break, this level break, this level up here break, and then this 4 hour up here break. So essentially, you just want to see a good amount of bullish volume come into the market, break some levels, establish some 4 hour higher lows with some strong bullish setups on this time frame. And then we're just looking to target higher. We're looking to target higher towards, key resistance, whether that be our 99.15 handle, which is 4 hour structure, our weekly resistance around 99.75. These will be the areas we'll be targeting. We'll be looking to get to if we do see this transition happen. So push higher, little, higher high on this 4 hour, higher low, higher high, etc. And then we're looking to go much higher. But for right now, you know, we're trend traders. So the highest probability trades are always within the trend. Right now, this is clearly bearish, very, very, very bearish. So, so naturally the sentiment will remain bearish until we see a transition take place. All right, so that's DXY, you know, quick analysis on USD. Let's move ahead to AU. So, I mean, guys, if, you know, you guys are looking at the charts this week, you guys know that everything's kind of just taking off in one direction. Pretty crazy. It's playing into these higher time frames. So let's go to the daily off the bat. Identify sentiment on AU here. Very, very bearish, clearly. This is our next key level, right? This monthly right here, which is monthly resistance. But also, this is still bearish until we get above this monthly. Because look, this is the prior high, also a lower high. So if we see a lower high here, this is still within that daily bearish trend. We need to transition past this monthly, get past it, pull back, get a confirmed higher low on this time frame, and then continuation higher. So right now we're still on the daily time frame, very much bearish. Let's drop down time frames a little bit and kind of get a better idea of what's going on. Zone in on price action. Get rid of some of these levels. Okay, so 4-hour trend, super bullish, absolutely crazy. So we had an ascending channel here. Price action started pushing higher. We're getting higher lows, a little bit of a ascending triangle in here. Then we finally got that pop, broke out, and just shot up towards these, you know, higher time frame fib levels, towards this monthly resistance. And right now it's looking like we're getting a pennant. You guys can see this, right? Looking like a pennant, right? Which is, you know, a continuation pattern, you know, more or less. So we could see this. This is definitely has a crap load of momentum. You could see it only came back to 23.6, didn't hit the 38.2. So this could just keep surging higher, honestly. Maybe through the monthly, maybe to test the monthly and then pull back. We'll see. But, you know, we were looking to go long on this. We were looking for an entry opportunity. And what that would have looked like would have been, you know, a pullback to the 61.8, a pullback even to the 38.2 at this current level. Just a quick dip, you know, a quick dip with, you know, some exhaustion, maybe some bullish setups that we could have considered taking a position on. Because this momentum is so huge. I definitely would have felt comfortable if this pulled back from this area, hit the 38.2, gave us a nice, you know, bullish engulfing, let's say, through the MA cross. I definitely would have taken that trade and targeted up towards this monthly, towards our negative 27, which is still 200 pips away from this level. So, I mean, it's possible that it could still fall out and give us an opportunity like this. Either way, we'll be looking for, you know, either of our golden levels to be hit, 38.2 or the 61.8. You know, and then a continuation. But for this to be bearish, the reason why I'm only looking at long setups right now is because this would need to break pretty much all the way down here. It needs to get below 0.675. It needs to get below this 88.6. So it would need to honestly give us something pretty significant like this for us to then consider short positions. Let me just highlight this in orange because this is the less likely trade path, but a bearish option. You know, confirm lower high, then you start targeting major support levels. So something like this would need to happen for us to consider shorts, or massive consolidation and rejection from this monthly. So we could, you know, let's say a double top pattern from this monthly. If we literally just look left and see where price action rejected before, you know, it gave us, this is like a giant, like 4-hour head and shoulders pretty much. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline, and then it broke and retested and continued down. But from this monthly, you know, it just rejected, gave us a tiny evening star, and then rejected. But, you know, we weren't considering shorts until we were below these levels over here. So, like, again, this head and shoulders was a good transition. Let me just show you for the sake of analyzing. You know, so reverse, we weren't, nothing really here is saying bearish movement until you're below this level here. And then it finally broke, came back for a retest, also formed that right shoulder, and then finally broke the neckline over here, like this, right? And then gave us some more setups over here to then enter on. After a pullback, MA cross, there's a mini fib in there. Actually, something like this. My bad. I'll clean it up in a second. Something like this. And then gave us, you know, good structure to short on. So maybe we'll see something like that over here. You know, maybe we'll see. We'll see. This could be, you know, very well, if this was a left shoulder, head, comes back down, here's the right shoulder, and there's a neckline, and then it could drop. Could potentially see that. But all in all, we are waiting right now. And the only opportunities that we could see at this current moment would be a pullback to a fib level. But we'll see. We'll be keeping you guys updated. So that's essentially AU. There's no fib video inside the signals course, just in full program.
You don't have to worry.
Oh, yeah. I'm just, I always glance at it while I'm going through it. All right. AJ, on to AJ. Very similar to AU, pretty much identical to what I just covered. Let's go ahead and jump to the daily time frame, see what's going on. Super bearish, as we can see off the bat, guys. Very, very bearish. Hugely, very steep bearish channel. But what's interesting is, yes, we broke out of this channel, but on this time frame, it's still very much bearish because look, here's the prior lower high. This one got erased, but this is more or less, 4-hour lower high because this leg is a 4-hour move, let's say. This daily time frame, though, this is a daily lower high here, especially when you consider it up. This daily lower high, this daily lower high. Right now, we still are very much below this lower high, so we could see something form here. We could just see a test of this prior high, which would be fine. We're still bearish again until this monthly level is broken. So right at 76, the 76 handle. So again, it all depends on how price action reacts at these levels. So let's drop to the 4-hour, zone in on current price action. So again, as we just covered, very, very similar to AU. Super strong bullish 4-hour trend, looking like a bit of a pennant. We're getting some consolidation, not breaking any levels, kind of just squeezing price action. Look at all these dojis on the 4-hour. It's like 16 hours of consolidation on a lower time frame. That's pretty crazy. Again, and then the only thing that we're looking at, we're trend traders. We're looking for long opportunities because this is a 4-hour bullish trend, but we're not going to enter just here because we want to see structure form. So again, we're looking for those golden levels, 38.2 or that 61.8. But until then, we don't really have any opportunities on this, unfortunately. Again, the only opportunity here was at market open on Sunday, and then it just took off. And it really has not formed any structure. It hasn't given any entry opportunities other than just breakouts of, this trend line and this pattern down here. But, again, it's just a waiting game. I would really like to see some massive rejection here on this week, on this monthly, potentially giving us some short opportunities. If we see those lower time transitions, then we can start playing it into the higher time frame. But again, we'll keep you updated. Right now, again, very much a waiting game. So let's keep moving. Next is EU. Damn, guys, this thing is just trending like a madman. All right, let's zoom out a second. This looks like it has a little bit more of a, confirmed break. This really looks to me like this could stay bullish for a little while, all the way up to this monthly at 1.15. But here we are on the daily. Let's just look at previous price action. Super bearish, right? Super, super bearish. The most significant key levels being right here at 1.13, definitely 1.15 at this monthly. I just marked these blue levels as they're the most important through this little trend here. They're all big trends at the daily time frame. They're the most important levels through this trend. Definitely looking to just play off these levels as far as targets go, as far as breaks and retests. So let's see what that looks like on the 4-hour. So again, very, very bearish on the daily time frame. We had some consolidation, and then the bulls finally took over on this 4-hour and, gave us that higher low, strong confirmation. There's a little inverse head and shoulders here, right at 1.09, and then it just took off, absolutely took off. But still, having a lot of trouble forming structure. It's literally just trending. So look, this was when we did this analysis yesterday, this is where the high was, the highest high. Now look, it went higher. Gave us a lower time frame, higher low, another higher high, and then now we're forming another higher high. So we have to refib it, just extend it because it hasn't formed anything yet. But right now we can spot a little bit of a confluence area. So this massive structure level at 1.175, as well as this 38.2. I actually want to make this blue. Give me 1 second. So this is where we're looking. Again, we have to wait. We're not just going to enter because it's a trending. We want to get in on a retest, on a confirmed higher low. Something that's saying, hey, this trend is still strong. This is an entry opportunity. So something like this. Again, right now, this is the only option for a trade that we have right now. Because again, in order to get a better trade, we need to see some sort of consolidation. We want to see a pullback. So this is really all that is possible right now for a safe entry with good risk to reward. A well protected trade as far in terms of stop losses, at least outside this weekly. So we need to see this sort of pullback and then a continuation. But as of right now, that's really it. I mean, this has potential to move up to this -61, especially from where it is right now. which is again near our monthly area at 1.15. So, I mean, at current price action, it's about 200 pips higher. From a retracement to 38.2, we're looking at 300 pips plus. So, yeah, again, this is the waiting game. This was just a crazy week. So these moves, like, yeah, it looks like it's a huge 4-hour trend, but when you see the market just going off in one direction like this is more or less a higher time frame move. Because like a lot of people will get stunned, be like, oh my God, it shot up 400 pips. I can't trade this on a 4-hour, and they start panicking. Just jump up time frames, guys, because that's essentially what this is. This is a higher time frame move. This is a daily break, right? It's a daily break of this channel. And now it needs to establish a high, and then it's going to start forming structure. It's going to come back and hit a fib level, and then that's when we'll have a potential entry once it confirms this transition to the upside. So this is just merely that significant break, that significant close outside of this, bearish channel. So we're just waiting for this high to be formed, and then we'll be looking to enter if the opportunity presents itself. Okay, so I wouldn't enter just if it hit. I need to see, plenty confirmation. So like just based on this 4-hour, if it pulls back this 38.2, it would pull back through the MAs, which is a good sign. Maybe we'd see some consolidation. I want to see exhaustion, either a morning star, engulfing pattern, something like that. And then a push, like let's say we get this pullback through the MAs, consolidation at the 38.2, and then engulfing back through the MAs, showing us a MA cross. I would then probably enter on that, yeah. And then I'd put my stop loss outside the 38.2, and then I would target, respective resistance levels on these fib levels, -27, -61 as potential take profit areas. So yeah, and then this is also, again, like I said, it's a significant confluence area because this structure level is here as well, 1.175 or 1.1175. So yeah, potentially will. All right, let's keep going. Moving on to EJ, and then I'm going to hit gold for you guys, which is looking pretty interesting. Okay, so EJ, again, looking pretty similar to EU. Let's jump to the daily for a second. Identify that this is clearly super bearish, very steep bearish channel. So let's go ahead and drop down time frames. We've identified sentiment. But again, remember, this is still bearish right now because we're at the zone. This is the prior lower high. It's still considered bearish, right, until we see a transition of this level. I just kind of went over this exact example 3 times because all these pairs just happen to look the same right now with this huge surge in volume, bullish volume. So, it's good to see. I mean, I'm just kind of like reiterating a few things throughout these pairs, but let's just take a look at this 4-hour trend for a second. So super, super bullish. Like, look at this. It's basically like straight up right here, especially. It started surging up, and then it picked up even more volume, and then just shot up pretty much all the way to this main level around 123. What's my view on oil? Yeah, maybe I'll get to that if we have time. We'll see. But right now, we just shot up to this huge level, pretty much the -27 fib level. But look, from yesterday, this is where that high was. Right now, it didn't form structure, so now I have to refib it to the high. So I'm going to do it right here. It's looking like it's slowing down a little bit. Volume's kind of dropping off. Get some consolidation. But, again, it depends on how it reacts to this level. If it shoots up again and gives us some more consolidation and then starts breaking minor levels of support and then, retesting its resistance and breaking, higher time frame support levels and then so on and so on, like a domino effect, yeah, we could start to see a potential short. But for right now, this is really all that we have. We're trend traders again. We're waiting for this pullback. If I see a 38.2 hit, I'm going to play it as if it's a continuation, especially if I see the right confirmation. So, I mean, right now it's just a waiting game. It depends. It's very, very overextended, especially on the daily here. Again, once you see a daily break, it's going to be a pretty aggressive move like we've seen this whole week. But then after this aggressive move, it's going to consolidate. It's going to pull back. Volume's going to be kind of, it's going to fall off for a little while, and then it's going to build up steam again because this is a big move. This took a lot of effort to get up here, So now it's naturally going to need a breather. The market's going to do its thing. It's going to either pull back or just consolidate. So there will be some potential entries. I'm thinking more or less next week, early next week. But for right now, because this is a 4-hour bullish trend, this is looking like it's a confirmed transition because of how significantly higher this closed outside of this bearish channel. So we're just looking for long opportunities currently. If things change, things can change, then we'll give updates and we'll cover it in the Sunday Market Blitz as well. So that's EJ. So crazy bullish. Absolutely nuts. But yeah, that's what this market's been doing this week. All right, finally, I got gold for you guys. This one's interesting because it made a pretty big move in it. Scared a lot of people. So let's just get the daily sentiment. Super bullish, right? I keep talking about this monthly level. It was such a key level of resistance for so long. And then it had massive rejection. Absolutely massive rejection off this level. And then it finally broke. And then it turned into support. And then it's been holding so well. So let's go ahead and zoom in on the 4 hour and I'll show you guys. So this is that level that we just talked about. Break of resistance, turned into support, huge exhaustion. And it just kind of, every time price action came near this level, it just shot up, and started giving us these higher lows, which is cool because this is showing, it's hinting at this is a continuation of that bullish trend, that higher time frame trend. And right now we're just, this is that higher low. And then this is, basically just a test of that higher low again, test of that higher low again. These are not lower lows, guys. These are on this 4 hour time frame. These are higher lows. They're just tests of these lows, right? So, I mean, this was a pretty big drop off. It looked like this was going to go long, especially after it pulled back through 1720 and then broke back through. And then it looked like the MAs were holding it. So this actually, I was pretty confident in this analysis. I know I marked this up last week. It was looking like this before this drop happened. It was looking like this, and I was really looking like it was going to continue higher, especially if it had broken this 1745 handle. But this huge bearish engulfing presented itself. Again, a lot of news surrounding this. A lot of job loss in the private sector, a lot of negative or a lot of positive news for USD this week specifically, which caused this drop. So again, if you guys don't know, DXY and gold share an inverse relationship. So typically, if some positive news comes out for the US dollar, this will drop, and vice versa. So I mean, it just dropped a little bit. This is just a reaction of short-term news. If we think in terms, if we look at it from a macro scale on a higher time frame, it's very much long-term bullish. It's always going to appreciate. It's a safe haven commodity. It just happened to be effective this week. So, I mean, it's giving some buying opportunities. It pulled back pretty far. It found support at our, one of our key levels, 1695. I actually took a small long position as it came to this area after I saw this massive exhaustion and that this level was going to hold up. I took a small position. I actually closed right before this session around 1715, whatever, but that was an aggressive trade. It was a very aggressive trade. So in order to get a conservative trade opportunity, we need to see a confirmed higher low off this level. So what this needs to look like is, again, a swift break, 1720, give me that MA cross, and then confirmed higher low at this area. Looking for strong bullish setups, as well as just a quick test of these MAs carrying price action higher. So what that would look like would be something like this. And I know I keep referencing that 1800 handle as our target, but I mean that's where we're going. So I'm looking to play this long-term move because again, we have to look at it from this daily for right now, and it's still very, very much bullish. So I'm looking to get up to that 1800 handle. No doubt. All right, let's see 4 hour one more time. Oops. Looking to get in on this right here, something like this. Put this down a little bit, and then boom. So this is what we need to see. Be very, very good for a trade opportunity. Push up higher, right? Pull back, higher low. You can get a fib level in here too, probably. And then a continuation higher. So yeah, still very much long on gold. All right, so quick recap, guys. I covered DXY, which is looking super, super bearish still. AU, AJ, EU, EJ, and gold. So pass this off to Angelo, cover some of the more major pairs.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's take
this internet's back up. Got that Walmart Wi-Fi.
Got DXY ready to tumble out here.
What was somebody was saying McDonald's Wi-Fi the other day? All right. To be honest, McDonald's probably has better Wi-Fi. So this is not looking great. Hello, Ray. I think it might have been you, Ray, saying that.
Dude, yeah, I don't know why the Wi-Fi sucks so bad in there.
So annoying.
All right, so let's bring this up. Let's start off with GU. This little position I took yesterday, premeditated. So this was an early entry. I didn't put this in the signals. Let me share up. I think I am sharing.
No.
Yeah, I am.
It says I'm screen sharing.
I don't
Now
know.
I'm done.
Can
There
you
you
guys
go.
see my screen? It says your screen.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I just stopped sharing, but like, yeah, that was weird. It said I was
Can
still
you
doing.
guys see GU right now?
I can. Now I can.
All right, yeah. All right, so this is currently the state of affairs for GU. Up on this monthly, as always, like to start and do a top-down analysis. On this monthly time frame, we are bearish in the sense that we broke this support level, made this new low, retraced, test this high. Now we're back, testing this new low, currently sitting below this level of resistance right there. Boom. So that's all the way up on the monthly time frame. That was monthly. Weekly time frame, what are we looking at? Weekly time frame, we are looking at a downtrend. So we broke this low, made a new low, made this lower high, retested this low. Now we are just within this area, looking for our next push to the downside. So weekly time frame, we are bearish. Then daily time frame, this is when we start to really identify structure. Daily time frame, made a new low, made this lower high, boom, double top, came up here, retested these highs. So we broke this level to make a new low. And remember, within our fibs, we're not going to just shoot from, this 618 all the way to 0. Hold on. You might want to mute yourself. I'm just going to mute you because I'm getting some weird feedback.
Okay. What?
So you don't want to shoot from this level all the way to 0. It's going to start to trend. Right? It's going to start to trend. As we can see here, we broke this low. Now we're pulling back. This is the last line of defense for us for resistance. We've got this monthly level resistance, 200-day, previous lower high. So I am looking to size up short positions right now, and we can start to get down to entry time frames because I got multiple confirmations. I've got this previous lower high, got resistance, got the 200-day, got my monthly key level. So like I said, definitely multiple confirmations in this area right now. So then I'll start to go down to the 1 hour, look at structure here. For me, structure on this time frame is it's not that clear. I don't see higher lows as clearly. Obviously we got some pullbacks here, pullback here, pullback here, but just to clean things up a little bit more, I'll shift down to this time frame. Here I can clearly see price made a new high, pulled back, made a higher low, made a new high, pulled back, made a higher low, made a new high, made a new higher low. And then this is what I was monitoring yesterday, is basically we had this very minor break below, retest, break below. So that confirmed this for me. Then I was looking based on how price reacted to this high right here. Obviously a lot of rejection. And then I entered right on this candle. I went up about 1.1. So I moved my stops to break even. Obviously the trade came back, which I'm fine with. Trade came back, stopped me out at entry, which is fine. I'm looking for my next entry though. I dropped this in premium analysis. I'm looking for my next potential entry right now. And for that, what would that be? We're looking for the next lower high in this downtrend now. So very similar to these areas right here. We're seeing this on the reverse. We broke through. Now I'm just looking for this, some sort of variation through the moving averages, and then we will take an entry, use this as a stop loss area, and we'll go short. So that is what I'm looking at right now. Obviously, we came back up, retested this level pretty cleanly. So that was that level of support that I was looking to break, just retested. So yeah, we're gonna wait, on some short positions here. I think they're gonna be coming up fairly soon, so I'll try to get this trade out there into the chat. Let's go to USD JPY. Let's start up. monthly time frame. So monthly time frame has been, obviously made this high, made this higher low, and then pretty much what I was looking at is we are consolidating within this range right here, and we are retesting, I guess, a serious support level right here. Retesting a pretty significant support level. This is a weekly level support as well. Had this huge wick here. So this is something that I went back and looked at again because I had been taking or had been looking for some short opportunities, but my sentiment was actually wrong in the sense that my higher time frame analysis needed to be a little bit better, and how strong this lower level really is. And down to the weekly time frame, I do see the weekly time frame as being pretty bearish in the sense that I'm focused on this area. We made this low, made this lower high, had this higher low that was then broken, made this lower high, and then now we're just in this area. A lot of volume coming off of this right here. A lot of volume coming off of this. We're coming back up into these areas. I'm personally looking to sell, but I need to see a lot of confirmation. Down to this daily time frame, until this level breaks, I'm looking to sell on the daily. So daily is where I identify structure. Until this level breaks on the daily time frame, I'm still looking for sells. I had originally put this little bars pattern here, hasn't played out quite yet. We were looking for price to come up in this area. Obviously, starting to slow up now. As I come down to the 1 hour, on the 1 hour, we would need this to break. We would need this level to break. And let me just mark this out. This is just a little, forecasting an idea. What would I need to happen for me to potentially start to size up short opportunities? I would need this level to break because I consider this to be a higher low support level. I would need this to break and then retest, and then I would look to go lower to continue with that sentiment. To the upside, like on this daily time frame, if we do end up breaking above here, I'm going to look for a break, retest, entry. But yeah, this is my analysis right now on UJ. Looking for break here, retest, go short on that. So we'll wait and see, how that plays out. Let's go over to USEF. USEF is in a very interesting spot right now. We've been waiting on this, waiting for it to make a move. Let's start all the way up on the monthly time frame. So on the monthly time frame, we are in a downtrend in the sense that we broke. I know there's a lot going on here. Like, okay, well, looks like we're kind of ascending. We're kind of in this flag pattern after this push, this huge flag. But I'm really just focused on, this is the monthly time frame. This is all the way back to June. I'm really just focused on from here over. I'm focused on price right now. And we broke below this level. And I marked this off yesterday. We broke below this level. That was support, now turn resistance. Obviously, bouncing off that so many times here. So as I come down to the weekly, start to evaluate what's going on. Weekly time frame, obviously, very bearish. I do think we're going to retest this lower level one more time. Everything's, price is literally just telling us that. On this daily time frame, we have our daily fib supply zone. We were taking sells all day out of this yellow zone. This inevitably, though, is what needs to break for us. This level needs to break for us to head lower. This is starting to form the descending triangle. And descending triangles or continuational patterns really show us that we're going to push again. Normally this bottom level weakens and then we push below. So that's what I'm looking, to break below this level. And we really need to get down to the 4 hour to start to see things a little bit more clearly. I'm going to unmute you for a second because you said you did a little analysis on this. Let's see.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of analysis on it.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go over. So basically the 4 hour time frame had been bearish in the sense that this level broke, made a new low, made a lower high, retested this low, made a lower high, made a new low. Now we were looking for that next lower high, which obviously, Nick went over. I'm just going to pull this down. So this is like our 4 hour fib. We came up, we retested. This is where the entry opportunity would have been for us. I was not looking at this. What was this? yesterday. So this
Hell
is
yeah.
where this
That's
entry
exactly what
opportunity.
I covered too.
Yeah, this is like the perfect example of just multiple confirmations and then highlighting this candle and then getting it on an entry. So we pulled back, bearish engulfing here. Doesn't mean we enter right away, but this does mean we have the 38.2. We have the bearish engulfing here, two confirmations. And this is also a level of resistance in the sense that, previously this was a low. We could just drag this across. This was just a low that had just been retested here. Boom. So that was definitely our third confirmation there if we wanted to bring that on. Then what I would do is I would just bump down to the 30-minute. 30-minute, you're simply looking for breaks of structure. You're simply looking for a break of structure here. I can just line this across, boom, just like this. And basically, entry opportunity on this would just be as this is weakening. And I think
I just shared the chart if you want to. Just like we did these analyses independently, and he's drawing the exact same thing essentially.
oh yeah,
So
it's 4 hour. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, what am I looking for? I'm going 30-minute is the minimum that I'm looking at. And then basically 30-minute structure for me is like, okay, made this high, this is a high or low. All of a sudden we're creeping at this level, creeping at this level. We're actually forming in this area, descending triangle in the sense that we're forming lower highs here. And then this is ultimately the break right here. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously, we had a little bit of a fall off. You could have caught that as like a breakout entry, that would have been fine. But now at this point, what I'm looking for based on just being a little bit more patient is the 1 hour. We're retesting this low right now. I'm looking to get in on this at the next lower high. I'm looking to get in on this at the next lower high. That means we can retrace all the way back up to this level. We can retrace all the way back up to this high right here on the 1 hour. On the 30-minute, in order to maintain a 30-minute trend, we would have to protect ourselves right here. So I'm looking to just get in the next lower high, whether that, like I had marked, in yesterday's analysis, I marked we're waiting for a break below, retest, entry. I'm looking to get in at using that same tactic, that same idea is, we just broke below. We're trying to see, we actually made a lower high on the 4 hour. So we can protect ourselves on the 4 hour time frame now. Very similar to these areas. And Yusef loves to come back and just retest after these dumps. So I do see this thing coming back a little bit right now. So yeah, we're looking for the next entry on this, next entry opportunity for sure. I do see it coming back up, retesting here, see the moving averages cross a little bit. Then we will look to short. We'll look to continue this, lower as I bump up to this daily time frame. We do have a lot of room to push. So we just have to see if this 4 hour level holds right here. Obviously, a lot of exhaustion. So we'll see how that is. I'll update this one. Today. I'm going to turn this to orange. As always, orange means that I am looking for a potential entry on that pair. So that means I'm on the 1 hour. I just do that to my watch list, to keep myself in check. Obviously, this 1 hour, I'm also looking for potential entry. So I'm going to change that to that. Boom, boom. And let's go over now to NU. So on NU, NU just came up, popped up, quite a bit. Let's start all the way up monthly time frame right now. So on the monthly time frame on NU, we are bearish in the sense that we broke below these lows, retested, made this low, pull back here, made this low. So weekly time frame, very bearish. We're just pulling back right now. Obviously, last 3 months has been in this retracement, has been pulling back, but we've still been looking for short opportunities in this. We've still been looking for shorts. We're trying to continue with that overall move. And basically what happened here is on this weekly time frame, look at these pullbacks. Weekly time frame, NU has a pattern of doing this. Look at this. Made a new low, pulled back, huge bearish engulfing here. Then we made the lower high. Made a new low, pulled back, huge bullish engulfing here. Then we pull back to lower high. Pull back, bullish engulfing. Now we're pulling back to the lower high. So, be aware of this. Be aware of how this how this pair really is trending. That's been trending like that for, since May has been trending in that way. And we're going to look, something similar to that. We're going to look to see what happens if we start to get down to the daily time frame and look at structure on the daily. All that means for us on this daily time frame is we had made this lower high, boom, we broke below, made this low, pulled back, and we failed up in this area. This area failed. We were trying to take some shorts, up in this area, boom, right here. We actually had gotten in on some positions, but unfortunately, we were not able to maintain those. We came back up. So let's bump back up to the daily, look at where we're at. Basically, we're back at this monthly level of resistance. We're back at a key level now on this weekly. On this weekly time frame, we're at this key level, boom, much like this. What I will do so I don't get faked out is I will look for areas like this. This previous lower high. I'll look at this previous lower high. I'll come down to the daily, see how things went down over here. So we need something similar to this to play out. We need a lot of rejection. We need a lot of rejection. The moving averages to cross. Now we're just at a high. I'm not going to get down into the lower time frame quite yet. This has a lot to prove for us. So I'm going to stick with NU on the daily time frame. And we were just going to wait this out. We're going to wait this one out. I am hoping, for something very similar to this to happen. So I'm going to ghost it out. I'm looking for something very similar to this to happen on this. We just popped above 200-day. I expect us to come back to retest this. So yeah, that's going to be NU. We're going to wait on this in the higher time frame. And then UCAD. So UCAD, obviously, let's start on the monthly time frame. And on the monthly time frame, obviously UCAD has, popped up bullish. We were trying to sell off. Now we're pulling back into these moving averages right now. We're pulling back into like a potential higher low area. I do think this thing's going to drop further, cover this gap and get down to this level, this trend line. I'm looking for it to get down to there. With that in mind, let's start to see where can we see structure a little bit more clearly on, the 4 hour. Hold on. Your mic is fucking up. All right. So on this 4 hour time frame, we are looking for some sort of pullback, similar to this. Very similar to this. We went over this on Sunday. We didn't catch this move, unfortunately, but we talked about this move. Whenever we're at lows like this, we're not at 38.2. We're at a low. We are looking for patterns, guys. We're looking for patterns. This was a rectangle. Rectangle pattern was bouncing between these levels so many times. This was the break. This was the entry right here. Obviously, huge fall off. So we're going to look for something similar to that. We're going to look for something similar to that right now. We're going to see how this continues to play out. This could be the same thing. It could pop up. It could pop up. I am looking for it to pop up a little bit and then short. So that is my UCAD. I'm sticking on the higher time frame on this one right now. So these analysis, GU, USEF, UJ, I will drop in premium analysis for everybody that's inside of the course. I'll drop in here. GU, I already put out in premium analysis. So you guys that are inside of the program, if you're interested, you can get in that. And that is pretty much, just to recap, we went over the major pairs. If you're a beginner, guys, these are the pairs that you should be focusing on. These are the pairs that you should be trading. Let me unmute you. These are the pairs you should be trading. GU, USEF, UJ, NU, UCAD. As always, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me and Nick. We had that signal deal going on, in the beginning of the week. Yesterday, we had one spot left. That is now closed as of today. So this little deal that's going on, if you missed out on that, and you're interested, shoot me a message, whatever. But, that is pretty much it. I personally don't trade oil. Nick, you can go over oil if you want real quick.
Yeah, I can cover it. I don't have it fully marked up, but
how about this? We'll drop in the chat. We're going to drop an analysis on oil after this. We'll do that. So this is the last live session of the week. I appreciate everybody coming out this week for the live sessions. Again, check out the Discord and the $75 giveaway if you guys want to enter in on that, either like the message or just shoot something in there. The next live trading session or the next update from us will be tomorrow. I will post updates from all of this analysis that had been posted from earlier in the week. I'll post some after shots, from all these, so you guys can look through those. And then Sunday, obviously, we'll do the Sunday market blitz again. And if there's any other updates, just stay active in the chat. We'll post them in here for you guys. And yeah, we'll get started. So about to upload this to YouTube, and hope you guys have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, and enjoy the rest of the week, guys. See you guys in the community. Thanks.
Yeah, buddy.